COMiX newsroom. It's time to get you wired in and get your daily dose of the COMiX news, hosted by Mr. Anderson, who is the unboxable, uncanny, advocating creator who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish monsters and more. Join him and his co-hosts as they give you the news coming off the COMiX News Wire. Brought to you in association with... Subscribe to INDEEvent.com to recharge your fandom and to get an education. Be sure to check out all of the INDEEvent programming on the Nines with hosts like Randy Zimmerman, The Kid, Varian Grant, the Indie Princess, with more hosts and shows to come. ComicBookAdvocates.com is the global digital Comic-Con, but it's more than that, and you can be more too. Be more than just a fan. Become an advocate for comics, like ComicBookAdvocates.com is for their creators, for their crowdfunding, for the very books they're creating, because we love comics.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere, so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. It is Monday, August 31st, last day of August. I'm not saying August has to go, but it's definitely time for it to leave. We're going to be jumping in, talking about a lot of great stuff, including the fact that we spent this weekend at the INDEEvent. There were wardrobe malfunctions. There was technical issues. It was really a night and day difference. Our Saturday show went off basically without a hitch. I don't remember there being too many issues. You can see I'm a little disheveled still, a little tired. Jax went back to school today, and, well, I guess he was a little excited. He woke up at 5 in the morning. So I have been up with him since 5 in the morning. People had asked why the room was so dark, so we actually went ahead and lightened it up a bit. So you guys are going to see a little bit of a different room makeup now. Actually, it doesn't look good. Let's move it up over here. So I'm still trying to figure out the new setup. If you see trays behind me, I was also doing some hurricane preparedness with the most recent hurricane. And by the way, we hope everyone's okay. We've heard some bad news about some people we know having lost a lot, and that's never cool. I'll do that later. But so, yeah, this is a lit up newsroom. If you guys have questions, as always, you're able to come in. Monday's show is always an invite show. But, yeah, Jax went back to school today, as many kids did in Florida. So I actually was alone for the first time in the morning in a very long time. And I wound up cleaning a lot and getting ready for a hurricane possibly by putting all my comics in trays. So you'll probably see those in the background from now on. I'm hoping he's having a good day. I'm worried about him because he was up at 5 in the morning. But we will see. So here we go. I'm on the left side now. I actually like being on this side, I think, better than the other side. Sometimes we're on the other side. So let us start off with our news today. Get into it. By the way, the link's in the StreamYard, so you guys are more than welcome to come on in. We're going to talk about the INDEEvent. We're going to talk about all the different stuff. We're going to get into mainstream, heartbreaking day mainstream-wise. As a matter of fact, two stories that are going to pull at your heartstrings today, and we're going to go over some bumps that we had from the weekend and promote some people. And we're actually let's begin with one of those bumps by giving a shout out to our friend Luke Stone. He does comics nuts and bolts on this news program. We're going to get an update from him soon, and right now he's on Indiegogo with Hybrids.
New from Terraform Comics, Hybrids, The Sons of Gods, Volume 1, Trash Day. When everyday people develop godlike abilities, it is up to a small band of heroes to expose an evil superhuman trafficking ring. This 128-page volume merges history with fiction in an exciting, fast-paced adventure. Get your copy now.
All right, and you can find that where. Thank you for saying I have a nice beard. See, I don't know, Isium? Is that how I'd say it? See, Isium, hello there. And he said, nice beard. Why, thank you. Appreciate the compliment. Oops, dropping stuff. So what happens when you rearrange everything. So we have the chat room open. The elevator pitch is ready to go. If you guys have an elevator pitch that you want to be on the show today, by all means, go ahead and hit us with it. The elevator doors are open. How that works is everyone's allowed in. You get on the elevator. You get to go all the way down to the bottom floor with us. Basically means you have about a minute or two to tell us something about it. If we like what we hear, we're going to ask you for a link and where to find it. If you don't, we're going to send you back out and get us a better pitch. So, I mean, most people get the pitches down. In other words, don't come on this show unprepared without a pitch and expect 5 minutes. Let us be the ones applauding you for what you've done by go ahead and bring up something really good to the show. And I guess we'll start with mainstream news this morning. We'll get the hard stuff out of the way in the beginning of the show. This is a bit heartbreaking, and this is news I don't really want to be talking about. This is brought to us by INDEEvent. This is the mainstream market news watch, and Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman dies, 43, of colon cancer. And I'm going to read what was on the screen, and is with immeasurable grief that we confirm the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer and battled with it these last 4 years as it progressed to stage 5. I think that's 4. A true fighter, Chadwick persevered throughout it all and brought you many of the films you have come to love, from Marshall to The Five Bloods, Austin Wilson's My Rennie's Black Bottom, and several more. Were all filmed during and between countless surgeries and chemotherapy. It was the honor of his career to bring King T'Challa to life in Black Panther. He died in his home with his wife and family by his side. The family thanks you for your love. And I can't read the rest, but I mean, you can hear it. It's hard for me to even read it. I was taken back by it. Like, he was just a good dude. I was a fan of him all the way back since Jackie Robinson. I do want to read a quote, and I think we should all learn from this moment. And I'm going to read it to you. And this is from the movie, not necessarily his words, but something he read in a very powerful way during the movie. In times of crisis, the wise build bridges, while the foolish build barriers. We must find a way to look after one another as if we are one single tribe. And if that's not going to pull at your heartstrings and make it unbearable, this is going to add on, and this will make you teary-eyed. Damian Wayne just quit being Robin. Damian Wayne has been one of the most controversial Robins yet, with his arrogance earning him fans and critics, but Batman's son may have quit for good. You will truly never see me as long as I am in your shadow. Man, my son's actually middle name is Damien, so he's named after that character, and just, oh. But I mean, I want to see what comes of the story, so, I mean, just two heartbreaking things in two different ways. Father-son things always get me, right in the feels. So I hope we see more of Damien, and I'm curious what his next iteration will be. So Lucifer star Amy Garcia co-writing new Dungeons & Dragons comic book series with former wrestler. And this comes from Cheat Sheet. I don't know why we don't have her image up there. That's weird. Let me show you who she is right here. Bring her up on the screen. As Lucifer say, Miss Lopez. She is on Lucifer. She does an amazing job on that show. She's one of my favorite characters, very complex, great actress. Also another favorite, AJ Lee from wrestling, real name AJ Menendez, are teaming up and they're making a comic book. So how cool is that? And it's pretty impressive. Let's see. So let's see. They are going to be teaming. It's going to be based on the Netflix show Glow versus Babyface. Launched its 4-parter. So Garcia stated that she's a fan of the show and loved comics as a kid. She expressed her excitement about bringing diverse characters into the story. Really exciting. Here's the look of it. I'm excited. This is a comic I'm going to pick up. I'm really excited. We'll look at why the picture's not there for the next couple days or that. Let's see. We got an Amy Garcia, and here you go on her own things. All the things she does. Really excited about the comic book. Here we go. Give you guys a little bit more. There's AJ and there's Amy Garcia, and super excited. Can't wait to see what these beautiful women come up with, and beautiful in every way. Both of them are very not eccentric, but very deeply passionate about what they do. They're just good people. Like, these are two people that you can tell are just good people. Like, beautiful beyond looks. Like, just great human. They both do charity work, from what I've heard. Just have a spark and an energy about them that is rare to see in this world. So two great women coming together to write it's going to be an amazing book. Definitely mark that on your calendars. Make sure that you guys are ready to get your copy. All right, so we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to get back into showing off some of the stuff from this weekend. So what I'm going to do is we're going to switch our room real quick, and you guys are going to see the INDEEvent background. And let's do a Mark Darden promo. And he's now part of Terra.
Hi, I'm Mark Darden, and thanks for finding your way to the Guano Guy Kickstarter. Boom! Pow! Epic explosions! Yeah, this is the second Guano Guy Kickstarter. The first one had these 5 comics. Ooh. But now we're back with a new 40-page comic with 2 beautiful covers. We're up to 170 pages now. Do you like rewards? You bet you like rewards. Who doesn't like rewards? Well, we've got them, right? We've got stickers. Bam! Prance, pow! Posters, come get them! Who's the Guano Guy for? It's for everybody who liked The Tick, Darkwing Duck, the old Batman TV show. It's a lot of fun. We've got gags, insults, we make fun of criminals, and if you want to know more about it, check out the little post videos where I'm doing readings from the comics. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you'll help support. I'm Mark Darden.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to just get rid of this right now, and we're going to go over some of the stuff that was part of the INDEEvent. Don't know why this won't go away. All right, so I guess let's do a reload real quick. Hold on. Technical difficulties. While I fix this, watch another bump.
I've got 2 specific series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Snuffy and Zoe's, their Toy Box Adventures, that goes from ages 4 to about 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mega Moose, with his magic feather, making him sneeze, and he turns a nerd turns into this a Minotaur type character with powers of all the animal kingdom. That's ages maybe about 8 to 12.
And that's
And he'll be going live on Indiegogo. I believe it's Indiegogo tomorrow. We're going to have him live on the show talking about that. So here we go. This was the INDEEvent, and we had some great guests on there. So it blasted off with me. Meredith and Varian came by, and we had to unfortunately talk about the passing of a great actor. And, you know, I don't think any of us were ready to start the show that way, but knew we had to start the show that way. This is how we had to start it. Of course, our heart goes out to the family of Chad Boseman, and huge loss for the comic book community. Absolutely devastating. So we started off with that, talked about it. But after all, he was sick for so long, we knew he'd want us to go on, so we did. We talked about Terraform Comics. We had the most epic Michael Watson do the Chat and Draw special edition where he did a Black Panther drawing. Then we had CTP with Russell Allen of Russ Explodes Studios. Silverline Comics joined us at the INDEEvent. Comics Nuts and Bolts, creating hybrids. And we really deep dive with that with the Luke Stone. Got into there, talked about it all. Chuck's Raw Conversations was with Kyron Sylvia. Great. I got to do the board behind the scenes. Two gentlemen had a great conversation. Definitely something you should spend some time with. As a matter of fact, why don't I give you the link to this? I think this is this is the playlist link. I'm going to shove it right now in our chat room so you guys can all take part in it. Here we go. You can now be part of it. And we're going to put it on our site today too, once it's done cooking. I wanted to make sure all the videos were done because there were different times. We had Silverline Comics. We had Comics Nuts and Bolts. Oh, sorry. I'm going back over it. This one's huge. If you're a creator, we're going to actually open that up. You really need to pay attention to this. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Meet Gamal Hennessy, author of The Business of Independent Comic Book Publishing. Amazing show. We had Geekgasm, Girl Talk and Comics at INDEEvent. Geekgasm made a special appearance. The final days of our Kickstarter over at Sierra Nova. They had a panel about all the good stuff that goes along with what they're doing. Let's Talk Comics with Compend, Marvi, Calderon, Darden, and I'm going to yell at Meredith for using last names. Last names are sometimes the hardest to pronounce. I'm sorry, guys. So I know it was Henri, Marvi, JD, Mark, and I don't know who. I don't even know if I know that. We're gonna have to open that up, and I'll see who that is. Sometimes I don't remember someone's last name, to be honest. There's Henri. All right, here we go. This gets a little. Oh no, I don't know Robert. Robert, I met yesterday. Part of our back to school sale. So he's actually got something going on. We're gonna get to that interview. Well, I said it was more of an educational program than anything else with Gamal. And then INDEEvent Talks with Pop Special Edition. He was talking about Comic Cast, and it looks like comic-related madness, and I think Comic-Con is what he calls it. Comic Skate and Whispers. When did comics become about sides? That was a great, great show. Really got into it. We invite all you to be part of these shows. There's no reason to feel like you can't be part of the shows. You're always welcome. Then we had Wendy Steer, Shanner, and ClickCon explained. I know they had a name change. I want to say that they went with Creator Unity, I think is what they went with. Give me a second and I'll look it up. But they had to change their name because of, I believe, something else was using the name, so they were informed. I believe. I don't know how. I know that there was something there. Let me see if I can get you guys the information real quick. I know there was something going on because I saw it because CB Zane, artist I worked with, is part of it, and I know that. I saw something where someone had said that they had reported to them that the name was already being used. So now they're Comic Unity, and I'll bring up this image for you guys right now. So if you're looking for this, do not look for ClickCon, just as a heads up. We're going to give them some love right now by showing it off. The Mighty Might will be on September 12th at the Comic Unity Online Convention. So that might even be breaking news to some of you guys. So if you're looking for ClickCon, that's why you might not be able to find it, because it's now Comic Unity Online Convention. So make adjustments as necessary so you can be in the right place on the 12th. All right, so we're going to continue to move on this morning. So let's go back to our list, tell you all the other stuff that was on it. We had Unscripted, Ended the Night, Indie Style. We had, let's see who showed up to that one, and we'll go right back to our list in 1 second. Let's see, we had, it looks like a packed house. So you had Lisa, April, American, I can't even read that. So it's Jim E. Noble, Tom was there, and Jason was there with Demon Fell. Looked like a packed house. Looked like they had a lot of fun. Definitely check this out. It went on for 2 hours. It looks like they had the whole crew there the whole time. So definitely check it out when you get a second. And this is all part of the INDEEvent. By the way, we're not going to be doing an INDEEvent for the rest of the year. This was our last INDEEvent. The next thing coming up will be brought to you by Geek Insider. Comic Book Advocates will be in an ancillary role. We will be there to help and support, so we'll be there. Now, Sunday Funnies, that is on INDEEvent. There you go. 2 hours of just fun, just absolutely fun. And then we had the comic book. What we're going to wind up doing with this is we're going to, in here, we'll give you guys the breakdown of when everyone was on the show. We started off with Jax, and so there was a lot that went wrong, I'll be honest. Someone had reported something as spam, so Facebook had taken it down. So our secondary chat room, which we were trying to experiment, never got shot up. We tried to do a Facebook a group room, their new rooms, and then I couldn't get logged in. There was an error, and then when it finally logged in, it would not give me a mic. It was a nightmare. And I even said about a wardrobe. So I'm wearing this. So during my Gamal interview, which we're going to see in a second, I wound up ripping my vest because I was a little nervous, and I flexed up forward like this to look like standing up straight. And my back was getting tense, so I sort of braced myself, and I heard rip in the middle of the interview. So that was fun. But I got through it like a professional. That's, you can see right there, I turned off the thing to kind of start dealing with it. And I was like, oh boy. I came back on with it. I tried to tape it into place. So this was a great interview. Just great opportunity to learn. He put on a clinic. And then I got to ask him some questions. And there I am literally writing down. And you can see I'm writing on a pad because I didn't want to text it. Because if I'm texting, I'll go back and try to fix it. So I was writing as fast as I could what was going on. He was just giving out so much great information. We got to talk a little bit about it. And he even got to tell us about a story about Black Panther. And it was some powerful stuff, what that had meant to him and the entire thing. And I'm in awe of this man. I even said it, that hands down during that interview, I was the dumb one in the room, and I knew it. I knew I was the dumb one, beyond a shadow of a doubt. He's just amazing. I've actually met him. If you go to his Kickstarter page, believe it or not, I am actually in the picture from a backwards way. I'm pretty sure that was me in the background of the picture. So it's either me or Josh, because from behind, I think me and Josh look a lot alike. And Josh actually joined us for this weekend's Devil's Advocate. It was a great conversation again. There were a lot of problems, but we got it through it. We did 6 hours of it. We didn't do much of an after show just because we realized that we had to cut off before we did. But we got it out there. We gave the information, and we're going to take a break right now. And on the other side of that break, we're gonna talk more about QRC codes and all alike like that. So stay tuned. Remember, if you want to come in this morning and have a conversation, the chat room is open. Just come on in and talk to us about what you want to talk to us about. So take a picture of your screen and make sure to check out John Celestri. Also want to give some love to some of the other people who visited us this weekend. Let's give them a standing ovation. We had Space 1975, now on Kickstarter. It's not a comic, it's a novel. Check it out. David Whalen from Corrected Hand Comics joined us. Again, take a picture of the screen, guys, and go directly to their site, or take your phone right now and pause the video. And use the QRC code to be taken away. Christy Shin joined us from Hora Taurus Studios, and we're going to be using these for the rest of eternity. or at least until the QRC codes stop working, because we think these are awesome. We're going to try to get you to geek up and start using QRC codes. Here we go. Ness talked about IVA, and I can't remember if it's IVA or Ava. I think it's Ava? No, Ava. There was back and forth over what it was at one point. So now it just screws with my mind. But what doesn't screw with my mind is how awesome this book is. Go out and get yourself a copy right now. Still on Indiegogo. Don't miss out on your opportunity. And don't miss out to be part of Henri Compom's amazing specials. He's giving you table pricing, as Variant put it, right now, sent to your house, no shipping. He's actually giving you table pricing. So click the link right now and get there. And Guano guy Mark Darden is launching his Kickstarter very soon. So stay tuned. A lot of great stuff coming from Guano guy. And JD Calderon right there from the Oswald Chronicles. Make sure that you get your favorite mouse's next adventure. We had Elefart, Cat Dad, and Supermom, and Elefart Never Forgets. And we'll break in just because there's so many QRC codes right now. I'm sure everyone's getting a little dizzy, and I'm going to let you guys hear about Cat Dad and Supermom. And just so you know, if you get it from writtensins.com, there's a special going on. An all-ages tale that teaches morals with farts and shows the power of imagination that will entertain everyone in your family, including the parents reading the book. Thank you for hitting play and allowing us to introduce you to Cat Dad and Supermom, the award-winning Farts with Morals storytelling awesome adventure that people seem to love. And we could keep going that way. We could use words that could try to get you to be excited and convinced to buy it, but I'd rather just be honest with you. I'd rather be humble with you and tell you why I created the story. You see that little boy over my shoulder? Right over there, and the other side, the Supermom, and the big elephant that farts, all of that is based on my boy. He's a special needs 5-year-old who I love with all my heart. And he has made me a better man and has taught me what unconditional love is. So if this story is about him, the standard had to be higher. That's why I got one of the best artists in the world in Raheel Mohsin. I got Chuck Pinault, who has done such great work as an editor and as a writer himself, to be part of this. Both of them became co-creators because of how much passion went into this. It was about passion for creating a top-notch story that was meant to entertain your entire family, and I think we did that. The rest, they're all keywords. They're all ways to convince you to do it. Truthfully, this is a story that matters to me, and it had to be one of the best stories that I wanted to share with you. It advocates for people who get bullied, and it advocates for the right things to do when you see someone get bullied. It advocates for being a better human being, but it also represents my son. And because of that standard, because of the fact that my son is in this book, it had to be one of the best things I could create, probably in my entire career. Anytime my son is attached to something, it is that high of a standard for me. So if you're looking for a reason to back this Kickstarter, it's because, well, because I love my son, and I wouldn't put anything out with his name on it that wasn't amazing. Thank you for watching, sharing, and backing Cat Dad and Supermom, and Elefart Never Forgets. All right, so there you go. Take a picture of the code. You're good to go. We also had Roland Mann. We want to give some love to Roland Mann of Silverline Entertainment, who joined us for his own program. We didn't get to have him on Sunday, sadly. And this is what's on Indiegogo. We saw the video earlier. Please, please join us up. We have something else to share with you guys. Hold on one second. We'll do one. Oh, actually, I'll save the bump. We have one more bump in the room that I'll share with you guys. Oops. There's something showing here. I don't know why that's a Facebook thing. All right, just turning that off. Okay, so let's get back to what we were doing. All right, what is your comics news for this week? Share it so we can share it with the world, and that's what we're doing right now. We're going to start talking about Marv gives us a graphic novel about the piano. Ooh, That looks pretty awesome. Launching tomorrow from Kickstarter, Freak Show Night Zombie Horror One-Shot Book, and Milan Kavos. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, so I apologize. But they did the great all-star book. Can't wait to get my copy. It's in pre-order right now. There you go. Taking a look a little bit about what you get. We're going to throw that link right into our chat right now. That's Shop Star Cross right there. Here it comes. Ready for it? Ready or not? Here it comes. Oops. Shop's All-Star Comics. Definitely support that. All right. So now we're going to go over and we're going to join we're going to head over to, hold on. I want to get us into our groups. So the way you get to the group, go to search, go to written. Oh, sorry. I was going to do written sins, but that's where the deal is right now for the Cat Dad and Supermom. What you want to do is go to Comic Book Advocates Network right there. Click it. And let's take a look what's going on with our growing community of amazing creators. Here, Marv dropped a link for that amazing tale, The Piano, is an unusual story of a woman's friendship with music. That looks pretty cool, actually. That's exciting. Jeff Ryder, now fully funded, is reminding us that you should be getting your copy of this Next Generation of the Great Detective today. Some art from Carlos Villas. We covered that over the weekend, so I think it was a little bit slow this weekend. Yeah, doesn't look like we had a lot right now going on. We have from our friend Kyron, what's better than one amazing comics? How about 3 amazing comics? If you pledge at the level 3 or higher for the Saw Kickstarter, you will also receive digital copies of Belial from Bonfire Press, the Acolyte #1 from Kennick Comics. That's right, 3 comics for the price of 1. What are you waiting for? Become a backer at Kickstarter. Wildflowers Comics, Saw 1 through 3. And of course, you can find this on our site at the very top of our site. You can always find the information you need for the comicbookadvocates.com. Make sure that you're subscribing. As a matter of fact, we'll take a commercial break right now to encourage you guys to help us stay on air. What do I mean by that? Well, that's why I have a video, silly. So check it out. Help us continue to advocate. While we advocate for thousands of creators and hundreds of projects a year at no charge, the tools we use, such as web hosting, URLs, and computers, have an annual cost. Help Comic Book Advocates stay on air. Please consider donating anything you can to help us to continue to advocate and put on advocating program for everyone to enjoy. Become an advocate for us and a sponsor for advocating. Who knows? If we make enough, maybe we can hire a full-time editor. And we have plenty of resources that you can get your hands on our main page. comicbookadvocates.com now redirects directly into our newsroom. And all you have to do is go to the very top of it. And we have it a little blown up right now. If you don't have the page blown up as much, it's just right here on the top of it. Just go to the right and click Now Crowdfunding. Now, we want to talk about crowdfunding from this weekend and give love to those that have already successfully funded. So we're going to do that Monday check-in as we're catching up with everything. I hope everyone enjoyed the last full weekend of summer, because next weekend is that weird thing where fall starts on Monday. And it's a 3-day weekend, but it goes from summer to fall. But even though the calendar doesn't, I know it's weird. Welcome to America, but it's how we do things. But kids go back to school starting next week outside of Florida as well. And even Florida went back a little late. And if you want to play this week and be a judge on backer pause, please reach out to us. Use our newsroom email or send us an email at comicsnewswire@yahoo.com. And remember, the power of a single dollar, just a single dollar, can help make dreams come true. Every dollar is a direct relation of support and belief. It helps the creator and the team behind the book. Just $1 helps create new worlds and keeps creators creating. All right, so Tokyo Detective is still on till 6 p.m. today, so you still have time for that one. Discordia is on until the 2nd. We're missing one that I got to give credit where credit's due, and it's because I was playing with this today and already successfully funded today. Oh, man. Sapphire, by the way, is over on the 30th, so I think we're going to see that this was successfully funded. We're going to go right now and see if we're going to congratulate them. And, oh, here it is, Average Joe. No, I wasn't wrong. It's just out of order for some reason. I didn't realize that this one up here was so out of order. It's because we'd restarted the entire page. From this point on, it's going to be a lot easier. Let's see. We're not human. That ends Wednesday. So keep on your mind that Zombies Were Human too. It's almost over. Get your copy today. Okay, so Sapphire, Spectre, of course, is funded. Congratulations to them. 290 backers for $14,000. What a way to go, guys. Average Joe 1 through 2, a creative journey from my friend Thomas Ryan. 64 backers, almost 3,000. So close to that goal. You guys did amazing for bringing this together and bringing this to life. Can't wait to read it. I got not just 1, but 2. I want to know what's going on with this. So he's going to really impress with an amazing book. I believe in him. And we're joined by someone who can let themselves in, so I don't have to let them in when they're ready. Let's see. We also have, that's it. That's it for right now. You have just hours to get your copy of Tokyo Blade Detectives. That's going to be, we'll drop that link into the chat just to be supportive. Rah, rah, rah. Back that project today. And that'll be our project for today since it's ending today. We'll end the month with Tokyo Blade Detectives. You have till 6 p.m. That's the secret link of the day, kids. So go ahead and back it. And we'll check back in tomorrow and pick our next crowdfunder of the day. Remember, every day we pick a crowdfunding project that you should be doing. But if you want to pick anything else from our huge list of crowdfunding that's going on, such amazing creators. Glad to see creators. Indie Comics never stop creating. There's the full link for you right now. So, where'd Meredith go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There she is. I don't know if she's having trouble or not. Are you having trouble, Meredith? Are you okay? Do we have to send a buoy?
I was in the wrong browser, so I didn't have the controls.
Oh, you should have just sent me a private chat and be like, sorry, wrong.
It is what it is.
I did that with Varian. One show, Varian's like, 'cause for those who don't know, we all work together. So we all have different rooms we go to at certain times. I try to use INDEEvent a lot more than I ever did before because now all three of us all have access to the same places. So it's just easier because now we're on the radio, joined by the tens of thousands of amazing ears attached to amazing people listening to our program today. And when you go to the wrong room, everyone just assumes you have the wrong browser and you're not signed in. Everyone assumes you can just get in. You're like, no, wait, let me in. I'm not in that browser. Especially if you happen to be on your laptop and you're not signed into things. That can be annoying, but how you doing, Meredith? I'm surprised to see you. I feel awful, to be honest with you. This weekend took a lot out of me. Jax woke me up at 5 in the morning. He was excited about school. After that long weekend, all I wanted to do was go to sleep. So I go to sleep from 10. He gets to sleep at 10:30. I go to sleep at 11. First time in like months I've got to go to sleep at 11 when he's home. I've only done it when he's not home. That's how pathetic I am now as an adult. My son goes with his mother. I go to bed early. But so I get woken up at 12:30. My dog's barking at something outside. So you got to get up and just double check. So, you go to the bathroom, you sit back down, you go to sleep. I'm like, okay, 5 o'clock, he gets up and he's up. Like he's not a bad dream, not nothing. 'Cause right before that, I had actually just gotten up to go to the bathroom again. Because when I got up the other time, I drank a soda like an idiot. So I just laid back down and he pops up and I'm like, oh, it's going to be that day. First day of school and a Monday. Who thought to put kids back to school on a Monday?
I saw the picture of him and he looked devastated. He looked like he didn't want to go.
Oh, he looked like I betrayed him. Like
I
was
know, right?
in a concentration camp. Which is gold, man. And then I'm leaving the school and I get stuck at a light because no one can drive and they don't pay attention in Florida. You know this. So I go to open up the app, the Dojo app that has to deal with my son's school now. So we're using apps to talk to each other because I didn't get to see his teachers this morning. So I was going to send him a quick message and I'm looking and all of a sudden they're like, make sure you send your kids with a water bottle today. Sorry for the late notice. I look and I'm like, I looked yesterday. She sent it at 8 o'clock last night. So now I'm going to be checking the thing till I go to sleep, making sure I don't miss anything.
Wow.
That's been my day. How's your day been since the INDEEvent?
As soon as we signed out last night, I think I had a couple of messages and I went to sleep and I slept like the dead. Yeah, I didn't wake up until later, and it was such a really good event. Yesterday was a really good learning experience for us.
Yeah, I talked about some of the problems we had. Like there were some haters. There was just some technical stuff. Like we found out later that GoDaddy had been down part of the day. There had been something wrong with StreamYard. We didn't even know. That's just that goes to show that we never let it stop us. I've seen other shows where those things that fall apart. Nothing. Me and Meredith kept messaging back and forth. Well, how do we fix this? Let's bump this person. Let's move that person. We're moving the schedule the whole day. I think we really got a good show, and we even stopped right before we would have gotten kicked off the Kickstarter. It was one of those times where it just shows that all the practice that we've had. I am happy that we don't have another INDEEvent, at least not the streaming one, for the rest of the year. We will be doing, like we said, we will be working on the sales aspect of it, but Meredith gets the rest of the year off now.
I don't.
Well, you have for the INDEEvent. You still have the Geek Insider event.
Geek Insider is doing kind of an INDEEvent, and it's going to be horror based.
Well, it's horror event, right?
It's going to be like
horror, right? Like
we tentatively called it Night of the Dread.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking about doing, and this is the crazy thing, this is why I love INDEEvent, because horror, thrillers, I mean, that's such a huge genre. And with Geek Insider, because it's not just comic books, we do indie movies, we do music, comic books, prose, all of that stuff. So I woke up this morning because I didn't have enough of INDEEvent already, that I was like, okay, instead of taking an entire weekend and being a conflict against other weekend events, because we're finding that a lot of these online conventions and events are happening on the weekend, I was thinking, okay, I want horror-based. Halloween is kind of an out, especially for the people that we want to invite. We're reaching out to people with, through Full Moon Features, through Shudder, horror authors and things like that. We're already doing this outreach for this event. Now it was time to settle on a date. And I was thinking, I don't really want to do the weekend. You know why? Because I haven't done laundry in 2 weeks. That's when I have the car. So I'm like, okay, let's think of something different. And then I looked at the calendar and I said, oh, November, Friday the 13th. I'm like, what if it ends on Friday the 13th? What if we have a Monday through Friday, a few hours in the evening that's horror themed, centralized around this idea of this genre and promoting people in all of these areas. And I was like, oh, so the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, okay, November 9th through the 13th, a few hours in the evening so that people can tune in. It'll be on the replay like we've been doing. So we have a centralized playlist. We'll update the site so it has a few dedicated pages where it's all like dark and creepy and stuff like that. So I'm already thinking about the next INDEEvent.
Now you're going to have that run for how long? You're going to have it for a couple days?
I'm thinking Monday through Friday. It'll end Friday the 13th in November. And just a couple hours. So it's not going to be like a 10-hour day on Saturday and like a 10-hour day on Sunday. It's going to be like a 4-hour day or 4-hour evening, Monday through Friday. But again, inviting other guests, inviting other podcasts and things like that. So it's not me. Basically, I'll be the keeper of the calendar. Maybe I'll host a couple of shows, which would be nice because Geek Speak is now on IndieVault Monday nights. So, to do kind of like a launch party with that would be really kind of cool.
It really would. Now I'm playing with all the posters because I'm moving things around. Mm-hmm. I did hurricane preparedness today. I put all my comics in a
yeah, speaking of hurricane, was there something forming again out in the Atlantic?
Yeah.
I saw something about that.
Yeah, we're in trouble again.
Yeah.
We're in trouble again. Don't know how bad yet. Stay tuned for more. There we go. Cat Dad and Super Mom in there. And you can see the books.
I'll be honest with you. I've had my hurricane prep done since the beer bug started.
Oh no, I started a little bit deeper. Like you see in between there, I put all the comics in totes now. Because after that one hurricane that went from 0 to 4,
Yeah.
I was like, I can't play around. I won't have time. Like if we have to suddenly, because I'm a coast town, so we get mandatory evacuations. I would have to leave all my comics unprepared. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'll just set it up, leave it in my room permanently. That's the good thing about being a single male. You don't care how your room looks. I don't care if there are totes in my room with comic books. Like, it doesn't bother me.
Can I tell you something? It was something that I learned when I was doing research on hurricane prep, because I'm a transplant from New York as well. If you have a dishwasher, you put your important papers in the dishwasher. Make sure it's unplugged from the water supply and unplugged from the power and everything. But when you seal it up, it's waterproof.
Yeah, no. I knew that one. Also, if you're going to store things, make sure. See, I used to store my comics, and there's a closet right to the left of me when I'm filming this. And I was reading the hurricane stuff, and because we had a bad hurricane here just a few years ago, Irma, and it ruined a lot of my stuff. Like I have so little items now from my childhood, it's ridiculous. As we're going through my mom's house, there's just nothing coming up. Like I've lost a lot from my childhood. So I don't want Jax to lose things, and I don't want to lose comic books. Like not just my personal collections in a special closet in the corner of a house, because particularly corners don't disintegrate in a house. I don't know if you know that, but the corners of your house are generally the last thing to go for whatever reason. So they're the strongest foundational points. It's usually the center of your house, like the living room will blow in and you'll get the most amount of damage. Even if your roof comes off, you have potentially protection from your ceiling for a little while. But the one closet over here has a hatch that goes into the attic, and they said never store anything where there's a hatch because the water will always come through the hatch first. Yeah. So I was like, oh, damn, that's where I've been keeping my books. So what I did is I trade them up, but there's a laundry room between my garage and my house. We have like a little laundry like corridor, and they said to put things in your washer machine. Also, put things in your dryer because they're not as good as the dishwasher, like you said, because that's got an actual seal. But those are pretty good because they'll hold up to like you can put like computer components in there if you need to in a pinch. Like I'll tell you, I'll put the thing I'm on right now, the computer that I was able to continue to work for a little bit longer by cleaning up some background stuff and getting rid of some programs and letting it be taskless. I would put this right now in the dishwasher because you can't always take electronics with you. There's only so much room you have in your car. And I've learned, man, you want to hear heartbreaking. I took out an insurance policy. They denied it. I tried to sue them, and the lawyer dropped the ball on it, and it expired. Oh. And there's nothing you can do because the lawyer was like, oh, we didn't have the paperwork. I was like, then you got to try to sue a lawyer. You don't ever want to try to sue a lawyer. But I lost tens of thousands of stuff. I have not had a great streak. So hurricane preparedness aside, let's get back to the news. As I see the numbers drop and people are like, I don't want to hear about hurricane prep, Rob. Fair enough. Damn, you're a hard crowd. I respect you for it, though. You want it to be pure comics. But for Florida, we're shaking in our boots here because we haven't been hit by a hurricane in about 2 years. So we know that we're going to get hit.
Eventually.
We're due. So that's the concern here, guys. Thanks for caring as you
Yeah, you know what? And save your comic books, too, damn it, because we've got a huge comic book community in Florida. Huge.
Yeah.
So this is your PSA.
All right, so we are going to take another bump. We have a final bump actually and credit to Meredith. Meredith has created a lot of these bumps. She's done a great job, a professional job. This is not one of hers for the record, but most of the bumps you saw today were actually her bumps. But this is for Randy. He's got a great new show on Sundays. I really want to build the audience for it, because I'm really enjoying it. This is for Sunday Funnies.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and INDEEvent podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on INDEEvent, INDEEvent.com, the INDEEvent YouTube channel, and the usual INDEEvent sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
And I agree. Let's have some fun.
You know what, Rob? I'm going to turn the show back over to you. I just wanted to pop in and thank you, thank Varian Grant, thank everybody who participated in INDEEvent this past weekend. You're amazing. I'm going to be updating the INDEEvent website so that we have those timestamps of when everybody was showing up. There were some people who couldn't show up, and they did send me their videos. So those are going to be posted on YouTube as well, and we're going to be sharing that out on social media. Plus, we're going to do kind of an overview of the weekend so that everybody gets a little bit of love on the Geek Insider website, and I'll probably post that on Comic Book Advocates.
All right.
Yeah.
And, it was a pleasure being part of it. I love being part of these events and working with INDEEvent and working with Geek Insider. I have a review actually coming to Geek Insider in the next couple of days. I was going to sit down and do it today, and I got stuck in the hurricane prep. Mm-hmm. My mind became about hurricane preparedness as I looked this morning and went, save the comic books, because I've had the totes for weeks. And it's funny, and I know you're all going to tune out, so whatever. Do what you got to do, guys. But like Jax went to school, it's the first morning I've had where it's not a Saturday and he's with his mom, but like a weekday morning when I had the news where I could just vacuum because I didn't have to be listening for what he's causing, what trouble he's causing. I could actually move things around without a little kid running in and throwing things. I've forgotten how to be an adult without watching it. Every so often I'm just, what's he doing? Oh, yeah, he's not home.
Why is it quiet? No, when my kids were quiet, I used to run. I'm like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Understand, for those of you who are about to have kids, because I know a couple of you are pregnant who are watching this, if you hear total quiet, that is when shit has gone wrong. And I'll put $1 into a Kickstarter. That was worth it. That's worth it. So a Kickstarter gets $1 today because I cursed, and I don't know why we have that banner up. Oh, because I'm in my thing. When I was in the other one, it wasn't up. We didn't have the TVMA. But you did great bumps, man. You did amazing. Like, you made all these QRC codes. We're going to continue to use them. I told her that too. Meredith's like, okay, I'm going to go delete them. I'm like, how dare you? No, I'm going to use those for the rest of time now. I think we've played every bump, but except for the space. Did you do the space bump?
I did not do that one yet.
Okay, so we have one for that. We also have one for Bump Me Geeks 25 Alienware. That's uploaded in here.
Oh yes, that's don't worry about that. That's actually a commercial break for Mobile Edge. You can play it absolutely if you want to, because it's got a coupon code at the end.
Sure, let's take a look at Alienware.
Check it out. MobileEdge.com has award-winning products with innovative features and contemporary, edgy designs that empower you to look sharp and travel smart with your mobile tech. Your beloved, not to mention expensive gaming gear and mobile tech devices, are an extension of you, so give them the protection and style they deserve wherever you go. Find them at MobileEdge.com and protect your tech with Mobile Edge. Bring it on.
And you guys can check that out too. I don't know why the one video just stopped playing. That's been doing that lately, where it just drops a video.
That's really weird.
I don't know. I think they're updating something in the background. It's been a couple times where I start playing it, so I just switched. I saw it end, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So
yeah, I love how StreamYard does that. They do the updates, and then they send out an email.
Well, yeah, we learned about the what was it? The middle of the day, we suddenly learned we could play with this, and I played with it the whole weekend.
Oh my god! Yeah, you were shifting things. What is that puzzle where it has like the 9 pieces or the 8 pieces, and you have to move it around and shift it in order to make that? That's kind of like what you were doing.
Yeah, so you can move things around. So what I could do here, and I'm going to show everyone who has StreamYard, that you can see now Meredith is in charge of the news. And all I'm doing is literally you can't see it because obviously you just see the end result of it. But on my screen, what I do is I see the two of us, and I click on my picture, and I move it to the left. And boom, swap-a-rooney. And now I'm back in charge of the news. So we have 5 minutes left on the news today. We're closing the doors because in INDEEvent we close the doors at 5 minutes. Actually, 10. I'm sorry, 10 minutes before we close. We didn't have a lot of comments today, but it's Monday. It's early. I get it. I feel you all. I understand. It's been a long weekend. The passing of the great actor from Black Panther. That was big. That hurt. We're gonna. I mean, we had a problem with that, and here you go. Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, he had passed away. I know a lot of people said they kept looking to see if it was fake news because no one believed it at first. And to know that this was all happening, probably like his family was with him, so they all knew it was going to happen. Like no one said anything, just I don't know if that made it worse or better for us. Because I know there were some people shaming him for a while with his weight and him dropping weight. He never shared it to defend himself. Now there's a real dude. Like people like making fun of you, and he just kept it to himself because he just didn't want to share that. He didn't want to have that out for whatever his personal reason was. He just did not want that. So, yeah, we won't end it on a down note though. So I don't want to leave you guys that way. So we're gonna cover one more thing. Try to see if I have a bump that we're missing in here that we could give it away for, or. Let's see. We might have a comment. Give me a second. Let's see if we have something new to report on the thread for today. Meredith, do you have anything for this week coming up worth talking about while I search this out?
This week, I don't think that I have anything really scheduled out. We're actually filling in some interviews for Geek Insider, and coming up in the future, we've got The Dead Enders, which is an online web series that's using Zoom for their TV show. It's kind of interesting. It's fun. Not really comics though, so I apologize for that. But we are lining up guests, and if you're interested in being a guest on Geek Insider, make sure that you contact me at Meredith@geekinsider.com. I should probably put that in my name for anybody who's
now important question. You ready? How's the new setup look? I think I got to move that a little bit to the side.
I like it. I was going to say I'd like to see more of the books in the background.
There we go, and we can make it even look that way by just doing a quick
and then bringing it maybe a little bit like Super Dad. I think can, Cat Dad and Super Mom can come up a little bit closer, but then you'd miss Jax. No.
All right. Hey, look, I know everyone watching this morning's like, oh, well, this stuff. Hey, I watch the news do this kind of stuff all the time. This is okay in the news. Like, what can I tell you? It was a long weekend, people.
It really was.
5. Bear with me. I had wardrobe malfunctions, and notice it didn't make national news because I used tape to keep my boobs in place. Like it was that kind of weekend.
It was that kind of weekend. Look, we're almost twinsies.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you, it was great though. It really was. I had a blast.
It was a lot of fun. We had Randy Zimmerman with the Sunday Funnies launched yesterday, and then not launched, but he launched the day yesterday.
Yeah.
And then I mean, just you had your shows.
Kamal, Ines coming on, Chuck and Kyron did an amazing job. Roland and his team, like just it went on and on. Like it was. I was super proud of the Saturday, and despite everything that went wrong with Sunday, I was happy with the fact that we had done something that was going to change comics. I knew the ideas that we came up with we can use in the future, and I know that we will be using them in the future. So I'm happy with how that turned out.
Was Varian ever able to get the numbers to see how we did?
No, I'll ask him today. That was down 2 because, of course, that was the type of day it was.
I'm telling you, I think it was something bigger because Sling was down. There were a lot of other internet issues, so people using apps and things like that. It was there was a good chunk of time where nothing was working. I'm surprised we were online.
Just like Limp Bizkit once said, it's just one of those days.
Yeah.
And that's what yesterday was. We survived. We stayed on air, and we made it work. I got kicked out twice because of lightning. Total power losses. No one even noticed one of them. The other one, I just happened to be in the middle of a sentence, and it just no more
20
power.
seconds.
Yeah, we're out of here, guys.
That.
Thanks for being part of it. Thanks for hanging out with me, Meredith. It was a great weekend. I can't wait to see what you come up with next, you mad genius. And, of course, I'll be supporting you any way I can, but please don't make me be on